What's one habit or action that you started doing that completely changed your life?
I learned how to say no. No is a complete sentence. Obviously, this permeates every area of your life. But when it comes to your finances, if you don't know how to say no, you're going to screw yourself over. Stop spending money on things that you don't care about and that you don't want to spend money on just because your friends or somebody in your life wants you to spend money. Stop doing things that cost you money that you don't want to do. Start saying no. It's going to change your life.
Definitely taking ownership and being accountable for everything that happens in my life. And when I say everything, I literally do mean everything, regardless whether or not it was actually your fault. Of course, when I say this, I don't mean to take everything personally and internalize everything, but rather it shifts you from the mindset of being, oh, poor me, why is this situation happening to me, to being, okay, this situation is happening, but what can I do about it? And the thing I love about this habit so much is that you can apply it to so much more than fitness. Because when you make this simple mindset switch, you go from looking at your problems as, oh, the world is out trying to get me, putting me in this shitty situation, to going, how can I be the solution to my problems and adapt to solve these problems? And of course, you're not going to make this mindset shift overnight, but once you do, you're going to feel like so much of a better person and you're going to feel so much more in control of your own life.
I started telling myself every single day that I love myself. There's a lot of science behind the benefits of affirmation, but let me just tell you my own experience with it. I gagged the first time I said, I love myself. But what I found is that as I continued to repeat them every single day consistently, that I had to start looking at my life and seeing the ways in which what I was saying to myself did not align with things in my life. That meant I cut out some friendships where the people were mean and unkind to me. I left my ex-husband who was abusive. I started eating better. I started exercising. I developed hobbies again and interests. And whenever I seemed to go off track, and I would just come back to that affirmation of, if I love myself, would I do this?
This one's easy. For me, it was focus and practicing doing things that other people can appreciate. Holding the door, saying good morning, saying thank you, easy.
I stopped caring what other people think about me. I started putting myself first. I set boundaries, and I enforced them. And I just started being my authentic self.
I stopped using my words so frivolously. So let me explain what I mean. I am mindful of everything I say and all the conversations I enter into. I do not use energy to exchange words with someone who is committed to misunderstanding me. I do not participate in conversations that have a tone of gossip or to tear someone else down. I also do not seek validation in others through justifying my behaviors, my decisions, or my life path. I just don't. I don't have to waste my words, and I don't speak just for the sake of hearing my own voice. When I speak, I want it to be intentional, I want it to be powerful, I want it to bring healing, and it needed to make sense. So I'm careful with what I say.
Hands down, cold showers. Honestly, couldn't tell you the physical benefits of it because I really don't think there are any. However, it is fantastic for waking up in the morning and building that discipline muscle. Life-changing.
So in second year university, we learned of something called an amygdala hijack, which means that you have an overwhelming emotional response to something. So someone has a disagreement with you and you have an emotional response and you just attack them immediately. That being said, what we learned after that was that you have your emotional sort of spike from the limbic system, which influences your prefrontal cortex, which then gives you negative thoughts. And then those negative thoughts go and stimulate the limbic system and so on and so forth. The thing is, you can't control the limbic system, but you can control those thoughts. So every time I get angry now, I look at the thoughts and I change them, and that changes my emotional state.
So I've changed a lot in the past 5 years or so, and I owe it all to developing a daily meditation practice, almost daily. I used to suffer from a lack of motivation, low energy, zero self-esteem, and like crippling depression and anxiety. Practicing a meditation has taught me discipline by having a regular practice almost daily. It's taught me integrity by doing what I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do it. And it's allowed me to boost my self-esteem by learning how to live in the present moment and recognizing when I do esteemable acts and give myself credit for even the little wins. 100% game changer, 11 out of 10, would recommend.
So I started doing things that I always wanted to do by myself. I would ask people to join me and they initially say yes, but then they went back out when it comes time to do it. So I come to understand that a lot of people don't have hobbies, and some people actually don't even know what they like. So there's that. And for me, I'm on the opposite end of that. I have hobbies and I have some interests. So yeah. So one of my interests is juggling. I like to practice with my nunchucks. These are practice nunchucks. So TikTok, please don't take this down. Please don't. So I take violin classes. This is the piece that I'm working on. I had to print this off at the store. I enjoy learning. So there's that. So I want to share more of my hobbies and interests, but I'm running out of time, and I know how much people dislike part twos. So yeah. And also I don't think I'm better than anyone else. So just sharing the TikTok. That's it.
Allowing myself to feel the extent of my emotions without guilt. Simply not shaming myself for how my mind, body, and spirit reacted to my surroundings anymore. Sometimes I feel really unmotivated and I can't get done things that I need to, so instead of making myself feel even worse about it and coming down hard on myself, I understand that this is just temporary and it's okay to be overwhelmed. That doesn't equate laziness. I would call myself weak for still having love for those who wronged me even after I had cut the energy ties. When really I wasn't giving myself enough time to heal. I wasn't respecting my emotional processing. I would call myself dramatic when I would cry about things that I see on TV or cute stories that I would read online. Like, girl, why are you crying about a dog being reunited with their family? You don't even know that dog or that family. Because that shit's beautiful to me and there's no such thing as wasting tears. This hyper-aware, self-destructive talk was really just regurgitations from things that had happened in my past. Now we do shadow work.
I have two, actually. The first one is money related. I started reading books about finances, educating myself about stocks, investing, assets, really learning things that they did not teach us in school. And then I started to say positive money affirmations. Anytime I would get stressed about money, instead of being worried about where it would come from or scaring myself into returning something or not spending money, I instead say to myself, money flows to me in abundance. Money flows to me easily and freely. And every single month since I started freelancing a year ago that I've had a freelancing goal for the month, I have hit it every single time. The other one is fitness. I started eating clean and working out 2.5 years ago, and it was something that I used to have to look at like a chore. I would drag myself to do it, make excuses not to do it. Now I do it no matter what. I do it on vacations, holidays, birthdays. It's a habit, and it helps me lead a healthier, happier life overall and have more confidence.
Stop making fun of yourself. And I don't mean like taking yourself so seriously that you don't take a dig every now and then, because we all have to self-deprecate just a little bit. I mean, stop making fun of your insecurities on a regular basis. This does 3 things, and I absolutely guarantee it. 1, when you stop making fun of your insecurities, you have to recognize your insecurities. And there's the cutest dog walking by. 2, other people will not know that these are things you're insecure about. They won't, because you stopped making fun of it. And 3, over time, you stop being insecure about them, because the insecurities come from within ourselves. And if you stop pointing it out to others and you stop pointing it out to yourself, they become less of an issue.
I have to say gratitude. Like, once I decided to wake up every day thankful for something, no matter how small, my whole perspective on life kind of just flipped. And I know you're like, gratitude and shit. For real, it really worked. Or at least for me, like, it really worked. Like, just finding something, and it gives you something to look forward to. And not only that, your day will be a little better. You know, instead of waking up mad and complaining about everything that's going wrong, just change that focus. Well, and also Zumba, but you know, that kind of speaks for itself. So if you want to take a class, come and dance, hit me up. Hey, changed my life.
So before I get into what my habit is, I'm going to give you a little bit of background. I am a single mom. I have a 5-year-old daughter. When I was with her dad, he constantly degraded me. He called me names. He made me feel like I was this big. He's very narcissistic, and everything was always about him. Any problem we had, it was always my fault, and I was the bad guy. Eventually, I realized my worth, and I left him. And that's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. But now, when I get up in the morning, this is what I do. I come over to this mirror, and no matter what I look like, I tell myself, you're beautiful, you're amazing, and you're going to make this a great day.
Meditation. I can't even begin to describe everything I was able to manifest while meditating for long periods of time every single day. Get into the habit of it. I promise you it will change your life. Some of the benefits I personally experienced was that answers came to me easier, helped me manifest a job that I wasn't even actively trying to get. It just came to me. Opportunities find you out of nowhere. Sparked creativity, helping with my stress and anxiety. It also sparked my spiritual awakening, and I haven't looked back since. I've had the most surreal experiences meditating even. I feel like sometimes I make it into the vortex, and it's just such a blissful feeling. I could talk about this for hours, but if you aren't meditating every single day, I highly encourage you to do it. It'll change your life.
Halfway through my senior year of high school, I did a scholarship competition. It was not a beauty pageant. I got scholarship money. Don't judge me. When I was away from high school for that week, I realized that there was nothing wrong with me. And when I returned to high school, I carried that assumption forward. My baseline forever would be that there was nothing wrong with me. That wasn't what I thought before, because high school was awful and people were awful and I was told repeatedly that I was awful and it sucked. It changed my whole life because I let go of my toxic friends and I started hanging out with people that lifted me up because I knew that I deserved it. It also completely helped me let go of what I could hear when people were literally talking about me right behind my back. If there's nothing wrong with me, then that means that either they need to work some stuff out or we're just not going to be friends. And if they choose to be toxic about it in public, I don't have to deal with that. I don't have time for that. It also helps me with self-improvement. If I want to lose weight or get stronger or whatever, I know that I'm changing myself, but I am not fixing myself because there's nothing wrong with me. I only found my self-worth because I left my situation and surrounded myself with positive people. If you think you're not worthy, find people who think that you are.
Started paying more attention to my inner voice, the way I talk to myself. Sometimes I catch myself even now with really negative self-talk over little things, like I'll accidentally poke myself in the eye with my mascara, or I'll put juice instead of milk in my son's bottle, and I'll catch myself saying things like, "Tara, you're so dumb. That was so stupid." And I've learned to pay more attention to that, and I've learned to replace it with things like, "No, you weren't so dumb. That's an easy mistake to make. You are not expected to be perfect." And just by doing that, my self-esteem has raised so much.
Thought I'd record this one right now since I'm actively doing it right now. Whenever I'm setting a new goal or like approaching a new challenge, my brain does this fantastic thing of reminding me of all the places I screwed up and got my ass kicked trying to set goals before. And just thinking about those failures can make me lose confidence and motivation quickly. Like right now, I'm in the middle of starting a new business, spending more money than I ever had before, and my brain is saying, "How are you going to screw it up this time? What did you fuck up today?" But there was something I picked up while ultra running. It was whenever you hit a pain point, like a real low point motivationally, you'd ask yourself, where have you been through this before? And even though the situation might look different, you realize that all those past ass kickings build calluses in so that you can approach this like very many people can't. See, the prior challenges we've been faced with aren't the road marks to tell us to stop. They're the evidence we need to keep moving forward because we already know we've been there before.
Speaking my children's love language on a consistent basis. Because they'll ask for it. And most of the time it's not, "Mom, speak my love language," is acting out. Or you might think, for sure they know I love them because I do so much for them. Well, if your child's love language is not acts of service, he's not going to receive it as an act of love, just as an act of service. Santi, how do you know Mommy loves you?
Because I love you, because we are together.
Because we are together. Quality time.
I will name a couple. The first one is very easy and simple, but just making my bed in the morning has helped me a lot because it makes me feel like I have already done something productive. Something else is when I wake up, I try to meditate at least like 10 minutes a day, because I feel like it allows me to wake up with a grateful and open heart, and I get to spend time by myself before interacting with other people. So I love doing that. And I love the way that it makes me feel. Something else was I've turned off all of my notifications for everything except for phone calls. So I will hear a text, but I will get to it when I need to. And if it's important, somebody will call. Also, it allows me to not be on my phone. And with social media, like if I go on social media, then I'll get the notification when I'm on the app. But I won't stop what I'm doing just because I've received like a notification. So I like that. It helps me be more present.
Not taking anything personally. It's not about me, it's about them.
I stopped drinking alcohol. You know, when like people talk about how they can't leave like a really abusive relationship because, you know, sometimes like it's good and then sometimes it's like bad. Best thing I ever did.
I've never liked confrontation. I would just swallow it down and just not bring up if something really hurt me or really bothered me because I didn't want to fight with anybody. We ain't doing that no more. If something bothers me or something hurts my feelings, I tell you right away, right out the gate. No matter how uncomfortable it is, I let you know you're being inappropriate and you need to fix your fucking attitude. If you don't like it, there's the door.